Welcome to the Alalibo Academy. This is Phil, and today we're looking at a very important subject of the theory of essentialism as a framework for identity, as a framework for societal identity. And oftentimes this has been a subject of discussion, and we want to understand what it means and how it impacts the subject of identity. All right, so let's take a closer look here. So here it says essentialism, right, as a theory, or is a theory of identity that states that our identity is innate and not changing, right? So let's ask a basic question: what is innate? And the answer is natural. It is natural, right? That's what it means. Identity is natural and it's not changing. And it is something we are born with, essentially, right? So we are born with certain identities that we cannot manipulate, we cannot change. It is there, it is immutable, it's static, is there from the beginning to the end, the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? So it's something that we are born with. And then it says further that essentialism as a theory of identity limits the possibility of our identity changing or shifting over time. Right? Now, we have other forms of identity that change and shift. For example, for maybe for a few years, you're a student. That's an identity, and you graduate and you move on and you become a professional. Well, you've just transitioned from a student identity to a professional identity, right? So those change. But essentialism doesn't change according to this theory. It doesn't change, it's there, it's immutable, and you have to deal with it. You have to adjust to it, adapt to it, and deal with it because it doesn't change, it's not going anywhere, right? So it says here, it suggests that from birth to death, we can only identify, and this is a key word here, only identify in one way. In one way. There's no other way but in that particular way, the way you were born, the identity you were born with, that you're stuck with that identity. That's what this is suggesting. And the perfect example is race. Race is immutable. Race cannot be changed. And up to today, I am not sure if anyone has successfully changed their race. And that's because it's not possible. And you're born into a certain race and you live your life as a member of that race and you die as a member of that race. It doesn't change. And that is a perfect example of essentialism, that we identify this way. And that's why when you go for your passport or you go for a biometrics reading for a security job or whatever the case may be, one of the forms of identity they take is race. It's your race because they know that never changes. And that's an important form of identity. Now, another example is the color of your eyes, right? So let's put that here. The color of your eyes, never changes as well, right? Never changes as well. Now, you may wear contacts to change them temporarily, artificially as well, but naturally it doesn't change. And this is another a form of identity that they usually take for those high security positions because they know that the color of your eyes don't change. Race, the color of your eyes do not change. And that's what we mean by essentialism. Is a theory that our identity is innate and not changing, not going anywhere, not changing. It is there, it is permanent, and we live and die with it. We're born, we live and die with it, right? And we can only identify in that way. And we adapt to it, we adjust to it, and we embrace it, because we have to deal with it. We have no option, but we embrace it because it's essential. It's a theory that our identity is innate and not changes. So this explains the theory of essentialism as a framework for identity, for societal identity.